Daishi is the main antagonist for the Power Rangers Jungle Fury team, and of course he's one of the most unique villains, being the fact that he actually has a host of Jarrod throughout most of the season, making it so we actually have a human being, air quote, being the main bad guy, who also is again unique because he has some form of ranger form. Whether you class the Black Lion Warrior as a Power Ranger or not, I do, and it makes Daishi a very unique villain. But there is a slight undergoing issue. We're actually rather still confused on exactly what's going on with Daishi and Jarrod, and in this video I'm just going to run over some of the things that make me question Daishi. Daishi, just like our very first villain Rita Repulsa, was locked away for 10,000 years, and is released after Jarrod decides to fight his master. And of course, when the box accidentally opens and Daishi's released, he then chooses Jarrod as his host, who at the time was fleeing the academy. So we have this unique dynamic. We've never really had a major antagonist ever have a host body that is a human being, let alone someone who has an air quote type ranger form, which is actually really cool. I like the design of the Black Lion Warrior. He's very sleek, very bulky in some aspects, and the black on gold is phenomenal color palette. He also is a very formidable fighter, because of course Jarrod knows how to do martial arts, and the whole aspect of Jungle Fury in general is mixing the idea of animal spirits and martial arts together. Every single weekly episodic villain is of course based off an animal of some kind, whether that be an actual animal that exists or a mythical one, that can differ of course. All the overlords, all of the masters, and all the Power Rangers use animal spirits, so of course it just makes sense giving the antagonist one. And one thing I also really like about this villain is he mirrors the Power Rangers Jungle Fury team. What do I mean by that? Well, first things first, we know that the Power Rangers Jungle Fury, each member of the trio, get new masters, allowing them to learn a new weapon, but also giving their Megazord a new Zord. Well, at the same time, Daishi's also getting different masters. Of course, there's only one of him, but he does get different masters using the overlords, and he learns different fighting techniques, and we see how strong he truly is when he fights the Rangers and captures RJ. And not only that, but of course the Power Rangers do get their Jungle Master mode, which changes their suits and gives them new Zords of course. And Daishi also gets a new form, becoming the Phantom Beast King. Of course, his methods are completely different to those of the Power Rangers, but you see what I mean. He gets his Griffin spirit and becomes a very different looking Ranger, I guess. This version, this suit, I'm not entirely sold on. I much prefer the Black Lion Warrior, but this Griffin suit is still pretty cool, just not as cool. But this is where things get really confusing. So we have Jarrod, who's the human being, and then we have Daishi, who's a spirit, whose actual form is a massive multi-headed dragon, by the way, which is really cool. We only see that, though, in the finale. When it comes to Jarrod and Daishi's connection, there is no back and forthing, there's no relationship, there's no counter-argument there whatsoever. You never actually truly know who is talking, whether it's Daishi or Jarrod. And what makes it even more confusing is Camille, his only general, and his right-hand woman, calls him Daishi and Jarrod. It depends on the scene, it depends on the episode, depends on the scenario, but he's called both. She has literally outrightly said, you know, I want to protect Daishi, or I need Jarrod. She calls him both, and it's really confusing. also see Carnosaur, the first overlord that Daishi trains under, go through Jarrod's memories and change things in his history. Getting scenarios of when he was younger where he did something good or didn't do something and altercate it so he takes the negative path, the more evil side of the story. So, for example, he doesn't fight back against a bunch of bullies, so Carnosaur makes it that he lashes back and ends up in trouble. But that's Jarrod's history, not Daishi's. Shouldn't he be affecting Daishi's history, not Jarrod's? That's where it gets really confusing. Because there's no point in Power Rangers Jungle Fury that you see Jarrod and Daishi being separate from each other whilst he's the host of Daishi. Of course, at the end of the series, in the finale, we do have Daishi being this massive multiple-headed dragon, and Jarrod obviously is separate, but I'm talking about when he is the host. My first thought was, what if this was like a Naruto scenario? Naruto, of course, is the host of the Nine-Tailed Fox, and he is, of course, his own person. But the Nine-Tailed Fox is able to gift him his chakra, and Naruto's able to fuel himself on the Nine-Tailed Fox's chakra. He's even able to make it into a cloak, change his form. He's able to, enhance his jutsus, but also he can also gift his cloaks to other people, and etc, etc. That was my first idea. What if it is Jarrod this entire time, but he's just under the influence of the pure negative spiritual energy of Daishi? And of course, he acts like Daishi, he talks like Daishi, he wants to do evil things just like Daishi, and Daishi truly is just inside of him, enhancing his power, using his strength and his energy to fuel Jarrod's body. We do also know that it's because of Daishi that Jarrod's able to air-quote morph. Jarrod never once showed this ability beforehand, but we do see him after becoming the host being able to transform. So we know that Daishi also has some implication with the morphing grid of some kind, but of course the morphing grid is a neutral zone. It's not good and it's not evil, hence how there are evil rangers out there, and Power Rangers who can become evil, or used to be bad then turn good, etc, etc. That's where this problem kind of gets a little tricky, because Daishi's able to enhance Jarrod to the point he can morph. Not only that, but he's got two different air-quote ranger forms, his Black Lion Warrior and then the Phantom Beast King form. And he also needs Jarrod to learn better skills, because Daishi's meant to be this almighty villain from 10,000 years ago. He's meant to be this almighty bad guy who, well, I mean, there was a massive war. There's a massive memorial in that tomb area where he was locked up that showed the fight. We saw all the masters in their animal forms. So if he's this almighty, massive, powerful spirit who just needs fear or whatever the case may be to charge up and become more stronger, then why does the host need training? This is where it gets more confusing, because it's Jarrod then who gets the training, surely. Daishi knows of Carnosaur, and of course Camille brings Jellica, just to name two of the overlords, and then you've got the Phantom Beast Kings, and then you've got everyone else that gets involved. It makes it even more confusing. How, or why, shall we say, does Daishi need training? He's meant to be this almighty, multiple-headed dragon dude who caused a massive war, and when he did get released, everyone cacked themselves. To the point that we even see the new masters that come out, the older guys who train the Rangers. Look at Master Fant. He even got spooked when he learned Daishi was back. So he did hold this momentous threat. He's this momentous threat, he's got this power level that exceeds everyone else, and he didn't even get defeated, he got locked away. That's how powerful he was. So then why does he need training by a bunch of overlords who are lesser than him? It'd be Jarrod who needs the training, right? Because Jarrod needs to become more stronger. Do you see where the confusion lies? Now, personally, what I would have done is I would have made a on-screen implication to note the difference between when it's Daishi and when it's Jarrod. What I mean by this is, Look at Teen Wolf, the TV show. When Scott is just a normal boy, his eyes are normal. But when he's in his werewolf form, his eyes turn yellow. And then when he's using his true alpha abilities, his eyes turn red. We can see this is when he commands an animal, like a wolf or, a dog of some kind. His eyes will glow red, and the dog then listens to him, or at least cowers to him. It'd be cool if we had something on those lines. Now, I'm not saying have Jarrod's eyes change colour. That would be kind of cool, though, if his eyes change like gold or flash gold. Just the pupils, to indicate that it's Daishi. But it would be nice to have some form of indication. I mean, we do have the note that he can morph, but again, that's still Jarrod. Jarrod is still able to do this. It would just be nice to have some form of indication where we have, some idea on who's talking, and maybe just an explanation in general. Now, don't get me wrong, I adore Daishi and / Jarrod as a villain. I'm actually currently watching Power Rangers Jungle Fury with my son, and we're very much enjoying it. He's a great antagonist, and he's absolutely brutal. He's one of the main antagonists who do actually go toe-to-toe with the Rangers multiple times, which you don't really see later in the seasons, so it's really cool that we did get to see that. And of course, it's a show about martial arts, so it'd be a bit dumb if the main antagonist didn't do, any martial arts. Now, of course, we're not going off the Super Sentai. I don't actually know much about Geki Ranger, other than the morphers are different, so maybe I should check out the Super Sentai and see what they did and how they changed it. Maybe they did give an explanation on what's going on. I don't even know if Daishi's an actual thing. I mean, I'm assuming so because the dragon, but who knows? Anyway, let me know what you guys think. Do you guys have some headcanon that makes sense with the whole Daishi Jarrod thing, and why Jarrod needs training even though Daishi's like this almighty being? On the fact that he needs training makes no sense. Do you guys have any ideas or headcanon on this? Because honestly, I'm still perplexed, and Jungle Fury came out years ago. I thought I'd make this video just to cover the ground, because Daishi and Jarrod are some of my favourite antagonists through Power Rangers. I adore the Black Lion Warrior suit, and I really do enjoy Jungle Fury as a whole. And I like making these discussion videos. So let me know what you guys think about Daishi and Jarrod. Does it make absolute sense to you guys? Are you just as confused as me? And also, do you have any headcanons that make it make sense? I'm really curious. Thank you guys for tuning into this video. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe button, and notification bell so you guys don't miss another video. And of course, Roar of Passion. I've been Level 5. We talk movies, TV shows, video games, and comic books on this channel, with more discussion videos coming out real soon. And of course, I shall see you guys in the next one. Bye.